Hey everybody, welcome back to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. I am your host today, Coach Jolie, and I'm here with Coach Tara and Coach Damon. And we have a great episode for you guys today. We're jamming out about keeping it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Just kidding. Keeping it simple with your nutrition. But before we dive into today's episode, we want to give a shout out to Member of the Week. And this week we want to shout out Guy Dodona.
What a legend. 9 o'clock, consistent worker. He is getting after it in the gym. I heard that his in-body scans have been really good lately, which is awesome to hear. He's been super consistent, and he's just always coming in, whether he has like a little injury. Right now he's got a little bit of a lat problem, but it's never stopping him from coming in and just trying to get after it, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I agree. Came in when he started, had a little shoulder issue, and he's seen the improvement from then to now. He's able to lift more, do more. The range of motion is better, so he's doing great.
Yeah, exactly. And he was a member a while back, came back to us, had a lot of health stuff come up in between now and then, and just, he's like, missed you guys, missed the program, loves it. He's like, I can't talk enough good stuff about you guys, so let's crush it. Let's keep crushing it, Guy. But, so, today's episode, we are chatting about keeping your nutrition simple. And I think this is an important one because especially you open up social media, you hear chatter, you see chatter of just anybody and everybody talking about all of these things that you should be doing, could be taking, like just supplements, and it kind of gets overcomplicated. And I think it's
overwhelming.
Yes, overcomplicated, overwhelming, and it just kind of takes away from like the main point of we have so much within our power that we can control, and then just kind of taking our power back in that way. So keeping it simple nutritionally, we'll dive into some main tips, things that we all do here just to make sure we're prepared and all set nutritionally. So biggest thing I think is just, what does it mean to like be prepared with your food, right? Are you guys preppers? Do you guys do, like, Damon, what do you do for meal prep? Or would you say that's like a big piece of just keeping it simple for yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Meal prepping definitely helps me a lot just get through the week without thinking about what's going to be my next meal. And Tara's had a good example about kind of creating a menu almost for yourself.
Yeah, so I really don't meal prep like that whole like batch cook thing. I don't mind eating the same thing, but I prefer just to change it up a little bit. So I like to do meal planning. So over the course of like a 2-week period, me and my husband will sit down and figure out 8 to 10 meals. Like what are you feeling for the next 2 weeks? What do you have a taste for? And in the midst of that, we'll get the meals themselves, and then within those meals we go and grocery shop. What do we need for these meals? So we make sure we have those ingredients in the house, and then over the next 2 weeks, one day, okay, I'm feeling the tacos today, so we're going to have tacos. Oh, we wanted this today, and so we'll eat that. So, but understanding that, okay, this is what we're planning, make sure we have those ingredients, so when we come on that day, like there's no set day like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's just we have everything. Let's cook this. Let's eat this.
I love that. And I love that it's because it's different, right? You've got your husband, your family to cook for, Damon, solo prep. So like the prep's going to look a little bit different for everybody, right? So I'm sure it's helpful when it's like a family where you're prepping, and it sounds like you do like a big kind of grocery haul. Just make sure like, okay, pantry goods, main proteins, things that are going to be frozen, like just create that list and then keep it on stock. Yeah, I love that.
And if there's some stuff like, I don't know when I'm going to make this, and it's like you can't keep this for a 2-week span. You just drop by the store and pick that one thing up or whatever that is.
Yeah, all the produce and stuff like that for sure. Yeah, I think that's important. And then when we're looking at like, okay, being prepared is one thing, but it's just, people are like, okay, I could be prepared and have like a box of pasta and like a jar of sauce, right? But when we're looking at like components of a meal, do you guys sit down and look at like, okay, the protein, the carb, the fat, like how do you guys plan? Because I feel like prepared, make the list, like have the groceries, and then like what are the main components that people should be looking for when they're creating a meal?
So
what you just said.
Carb, fat, protein. Yeah.
Carb,
no, is that
fat,
like how
protein.
you guys plan in terms of?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, this is the protein we're going to have. What are we going to eat with that? Is that going to be a potato meal? Is that going to be rice? All right, what vegetables? I typically just buy just random vegetables, whatever we're going to eat. I'm a green bean broccoli person. I can eat those every day, but I'll make sure I have those in the house. So real quick, however we're preparing that. But to me, vegetables, I mean, I have some vegetables that go with certain meals, but for the most part, a vegetable is a vegetable. It can go with anything. So as long as you have some type of vegetable that you can throw with your protein and your carb, you're fine, in my opinion.
Sweet. Love that. Yeah. Keeping it simple. Again, carb, fat, protein, chicken, steak, beef, fish, whatever it is. The carb can be, just keep it simple. Vegetable, rice, white rice, brown rice, potatoes. Make sure you've got your veggies and stuff like that. I think you said you don't do this, Tara. I kind of take like the opposite approach. Damon, I don't know if you do this too, but I'm kind of a fan of like the batch cooking. Again, like smaller, like cooking for 2 people, right? But I'll do like sheet pan of veggies where it's like, okay, like I know this will last a few days, got the proteins, and then it's like, okay, I plan to like have the time in my day to be able to do it a few days later. So that's something that I'd recommend to people if they're either like on the go or they don't want to plan out like farther out, or they don't need to plan farther out. That's something that I like to do. But any tips you have there?
Absolutely, and I agree with that because not everybody's going to be trying to be cream of the crop, trying to make these extravagant meals. Just keep the meals basic. I mean, for me personally, the crock pot is my absolute best friend because it is the easiest thing to do. It takes 0 effort. It's 5 minutes of throwing everything into a pot and letting it sit there for 6 to 8 hours or however long you want to put it there. You can go to work, go about your day, and when you get home, you have a fresh meal ready to go for you. Still hot. And you have plenty more left over to use for the rest of the week. And for example, one that I like to do a lot is this Mexican style chicken where I will throw 6 chicken breasts into the crock pot, put your regular seasonings like salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. And then you can dump a jar of a salsa that you like. For me, I like this chipotle salsa as my flavor. And if you want, this is optional, but if you're trying to stay away from having some fat or you can't have as much, I like to add a block of cream cheese to get a little bit more of that creamy flavor to it. And then when it's done, you shred all the chicken up, mix it all together, and you can put it on anything. You can put it on rice, potatoes, burritos, sandwiches, anything you want with it. And it keeps it simple, and you can add the onions and the peppers or whatever other vegetables on top of it as well.
Yeah, no, that sounds awesome. I think it's something where it's like the versatility is something that I think a lot of people mistake, and that's like a super versatile meal. There's like a million ways to do it. You can shred the chicken up. It's already there, and you can, just like you said, put it on veggies, put it on burrito, whatever it is. And I think that's something that people can kind of start to implement, if not already, especially like as we're getting into the summer seasons. Like maybe it's a little, it's not a lazy approach, but it's like a time efficient approach, right? Where it's simple. Simple, exactly. Simplicity, guys. So it can be as simple as that, throwing something in like the air fryer. Air fryer's been my best friend lately too, with like crock pot, things like that. And so it's like, pick the protein, make sure we've got like, enough time in the day to do it, planning out your days, and just making sure like, okay, cool. Is this versatile enough for me to like make different meals out of, being careful with like sauces and stuff. Like you said, salsa is a great way where it's like a, essentially like a lower calorie way for people to just,
because it's all vegetables,
get some flavors in. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Don't overlook your seasonings, guys. There's always ways to make things like salad dressings and stuff that are like super simple. Don't need to like go and buy like super pricey tiny bottles and stuff like that, but so versatility, being prepared, make sure we've got like your carbs, your fats, your proteins. Pick how long you're trying to plan things out for, right? So a week, a few days, 2 weeks, right? And then have your list. Something that I know Brandy has talked to me about and which she's worked with some people on is like, you can use ChatGPT for like, if you need ideas and you just did grocery shopping, right? And you're like, okay, like just let me upload a picture of my fridge and be like, okay, what are some things I can make with what's in my fridge that are going to be like time effective for me, I'm going to get enough protein that are going to last me like X number of days, right? And it'll give you some ideas, right? You can even Google it if you want to, if you're against ChatGPT. But yeah, you guys use chat at all, or like anything like that to get ideas? Like, where do you guys find like Pinterest? Okay. Yeah. Do you get ideas on social media and stuff, or where do you?
I get all my ideas from my family, actually, because they're all really big cooks. So whenever I want to have an idea, I just go ahead and ask them, because my dad has a whole recipe book that he's written throughout his whole life, and it was passed on from generation to generation. So I got a lot of pages to go through still.
Nice. Add that crockpot chicken. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sweet. Anything else you guys do to just like kind of take the guesswork out of it, or like even when it comes to just being prepared, like snacks and stuff like that?
Just knowing, like, for the snacks themselves, like for me, like as a track coach, knowing where you're going, what type of snack can I have at the track that necessarily doesn't have to be cold or hot, like different things, like something that's stable at room temperature. That's where I look more to things. Like, we have a cooler at the track, but like it'd be way over there, and I don't want to walk way over there. I'd be sitting right here. So what can I eat? That's gonna be right here.
Yeah, exactly.
So I look at more of like the, what do I get? Like nuts, or I'm a peanut butter person, so I like peanut butter crackers and stuff like that.
Respect.
So.
Yeah, exactly. It's being prepared at home and then being prepared on the go too. And so
that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
On the go.
Yeah. And I know you guys like early mornings and stuff like that. So I know, Tara, you've made like egg bites, and sometimes it's like
made some yesterday, actually.
Sweet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Overnight oats for me.
Overnight oats, little protein shake, and it's like fitting those things in like where we need to, and then bringing, being prepared, like bringing a lunch, having dinner prepared, things like that. So we're getting those meals in. But awesome, guys. Any other tips? Anything that we're missing?
I'd say the last tip that I got for people that might have a hard time knowing when to stop eating something, or when they feel like they're eating too much and they don't know why, I always kind of give the simple advice of following a rule called the 70-30 rule, to where you eat until you're 70% full, or where you feel like you're 70% full, wait 30 minutes and see if you are full, because it takes 30 minutes to absorb into your body and digest. And if you're still hungry, cool, you can go ahead and eat a little bit more. But if after those 30 minutes and you find out that you're actually full, it makes a big difference for you. It's where, let's say you had a Chipotle burrito, maybe you didn't really need to eat the whole burrito, maybe you only needed to eat half. I mean, it makes a big difference for a lot of people, and it can just be as simple as that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think it's important too with a rule like that too, with like when you're eating meals, and this is something I think we're all guilty of it, because we're all on our phones, we're all on screens all the time.
Focusing on the meal,
right? And it's something where it's like, okay, if I'm focused on the meal, like you're gonna recognize when you're feeling full, you're gonna like actually chew your food a little bit more, digest a little easier, stress levels come down a little bit. So I love that one. Wait the 30 minutes, 70% full. It's a good one. Sweet. Anything else? We good? Keeping it simple. Yeah. Yeah, guys. Basically, try not to overcomplicate it. Make sure we're being prepared, whatever that means for you. Planning things out, prepared at home, on the go. Carbs, fat, protein. Just try not to overcomplicate it. Try not to get overwhelmed. It doesn't need to be that hard.
Food's energy at the end of the day.
Food is energy. All right, guys. Great episode. We'll be back next week with more great stuff.
Thank you so much for listening to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. Do you have a question that you'd like for us to answer live on the podcast? If so, all you need to do is head over to the Apple Podcast app on your iPhone and do 3 simple things. First, leave us a rating and review telling me what you think of the podcast. In that review, ask anything you want related to health, fitness, or nutrition. And if you want a shout out, leave us your Instagram handle or name. That's all you have to do. Then listen to hear your questions answered live on the next Q&A episode.